Give me a second here. All right, we're back with another stream. What's up, LG? What's up, the chef? What's up, Greg? Nikki, hey, Speed Robo, Chris, Olidus. The chef says Argos massive eBay dump. Yeah, I saw people talking about that. I haven't looked at what he's actually what he's listed so far yet, though. I appreciate that, Speed Robo. So obviously, the topic of this video, well, we're just going to open up the rest of this Karami box. It's a whole box. I was going to open it earlier, but I figured we'd do it on a stream. But the end of Metazoo, that's what we're going to talk about while we stream. Is there a chance that it comes back to life? We'll wait for some more people to get in here before we start talking about it. Eco Gator says Argos is dumping the bags. Convenient timing to start a new coffee shop. Mike did us all dirty. I don't blame Argos. Hey, Nick, I love watching your old Yu-Gi-Oh! 25th. I appreciate that, bro. What's up, Steven? Hello from the Cryptozoology Paranormal Museum. Metazoo needs a case study for TCGs. I agree. Needs to be a case study. So, Tanner says, what the frick is going on with Metazoo? No new info from the company itself. So, I had been hearing rumors today, and Bailey just posted on the Discord, so I guess he heard the same rumor. There was supposed to be, or at least we heard, that there was supposed to be potentially some kind of announcement made tonight, either by Metazoo or by one of the people in charge. Still hasn't happened. So I just wanted to go live, and maybe if it happens while we're live, we can talk about it. But we saw that also today, Afton posted that she was leaving Metazoo. Texas Ted put up a post kind of saying he was moving on to something else. So I had kind of heard speculation that today was like the official last day for whoever was left. Got a Karami full hollow on the first pack. And I did see when people sent me that screenshot that Afton announced that she was leaving, I noticed that Afton has me blocked, and I didn't even follow her. And then I noticed that Bailey had me blocked too, and I don't even think I've ever talked about Bailey, so I guess I'm on the Metazoo shit list. And I don't know for sure that today was necessarily her last, like, because the other artists like Lily and Kelsey and Jet, they announced their departure basically when the announcement came out. But the fact that Afton announced hers today, and then Texas Ted put up that post, which really sounded like he was on to something else. How can Dr. Cards get a hold of Mike when I can't even get him to reply to my text? Yeah, I saw people saying they thought Dr. Cards screenshots were photoshopped or fake. You guys can message him if you want, but he showed me other proof in other parts of the conversation that proved he was talking to Mike. He was, from what I understand, he was one of the Dr. Cards. I'm sure he'll be in here at some point tonight. but he was one of the bigger, more active Metazoo partners. He had an LGS. He did events, and he even had his own stamped promo card, partner card. But yeah, some of the stuff he showed me other stuff that proved he was talking to Mike, but he asked me not to show it, like things that even showed Mike's phone number of them text. Like he's a pretty reputable dude. I wouldn't have shared that if I thought he was being misleading with those screenshots. Bryson says, I don't think Metazoo is going to be bought out. It's probably done. I mean, it's very likely. I mean, hopefully we actually do find out at some point tonight what's going on. But with Metazoo's track record, I'm sure this rumor of us getting some announcement is probably just a rumor. We're probably not going to hear anything, but if we do, I'll make a video about it tonight. Yeah, I mean, you would think that's another thing that makes me wonder if there's truth to some of these rumors, because if these rumors were just way off base and totally wrong or misinformation, they could just put out a statement and clear a lot of it up. If Metazoo's not even considering being sold, they could put out a statement and say that. If Mike made a mistake and wasn't supposed to say Metazoo's shutting down, they could put out a statement and say, we're not shutting down, we're doing fine. They could say something to clear up big chunks of a lot of this. The fact that they haven't so far is weird to me. And the fact that all these employees and artists this week have announced that they're also leaving, I think is also kind of weird. What is Argos's eBay? It's just Argos Anonymous, so you should be able to search. If you search sellers for Argos Anonymous, you should be able to find it. I saw someone saying he had really good deals on first edition boxes, but I haven't seen what else he's posted. I don't think their socials are still down. They haven't posted anything on there, but the Instagram is back up, and I believe the Twitter is as well. I checked as recently as yesterday for lawsuits and bankruptcies again, and I still didn't see anything naming Metazoo or anybody involved. What's up, Pipe Castano? What's next for your channel post Metazoo? I honestly don't know, man. Probably more Pokemon. But I have a feeling we're going to be riding this Metazoo drama for a while. At the rate that we're getting answers, I feel like there's going to be plenty to talk about for weeks and months to come. What's up, buddy? What's up, Cheeseburger? What do you think Pokemon will do for the 30th? Anything special? It's a good question. Probably more Charizard reprints if I were a betting man. What's up, Otherverse? See, I've got this in the background. Otherverse sent me another booster box. We'll be opening that soon. Not on this stream though. I've gotten caught up in all this Metazoo news. I haven't really. I've had a one-track mind for Metazoo the past few days. I wouldn't be against that at all, man. I can open that in the same stream as I open the booster box. Brian Fatoni says, I think everyone got too big-headed and greedy that mixed with bad management, and they turned Metazoo into the Titanic. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. That's an interesting analogy. I actually have several things I was going to open this week. I got a couple different booster boxes and a couple different promos and stuff from some other TCGs, and I was going to stream those a couple days ago. I think actually the day that the announcement came out was the day that I was going to do the stream of some of these other indie TCGs, and then it was like the whole Metazoo ship blew up that day. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think in the chat is going to happen? What do you guys think is going on? Do you think there's a chance that Bandai buys it? I watched a couple videos last night and today, people making some good points about other properties that Bandai have bought that have been, kind of failures or dying TCGs or dying games when they bought them. But they did point out that it looks like Bandai has never bought an American or acquired an American-based game or company. But if you look at because all this stuff is public because Bandai is publicly traded. If you look at Bandai's track record, they may not have acquired an American game, but they've got a lot of American partners that are like they're partnered with Gamer Subs. There's like a bunch of random shit that they are involved with. So I don't know. It's an interesting scenario. Nerdy says, I think Bandai is still salty about losing Yu-Gi-Oh! So many years ago. I think it's possible a buyout is happening, but I don't know if it's Bandai. The big thing that makes me not trust it is the fact that Metazoo's in the USA. Yeah, that's what I've seen a lot of people saying. Ben says, I don't like calling people names, but Mike is a donkey. Is there any chance at all you'll be interested in delving into One Piece? I hadn't watched it until the first set came out. I mean, I guess there's a chance. I've never watched the anime for One Piece. I mean, I guess I could get into it. I know a lot of people that are, and they say it's a pretty big time investment, from what I understand, to watch the entirety of One Piece. I would have to really get into the actual IP and like enjoy the anime to probably enjoy the cards. This time, I swear, I'm not drinking tonight. There's going to be a shorter stream when I'm done with this Hello Kitty box. We'll probably end it because I've got some other stuff to do, but I wanted to jump on here live just in case there's an announcement made. But I'm drinking Celsius packet in my water. Yeah, I saw Gary's video. That was one of the videos that I watched today. King Pokemon did a good video today. But I did see some people made a good point. Even though Bandai hasn't bought or acquired a U.S. company, that doesn't necessarily mean they can't or wouldn't. Because Bandai is such a big organization. It's publicly traded. It's worth billions of dollars. These little games and properties that they pick up, they're just diversifying their investment portfolio so they have something to show their investors like, hey, this is a promising new thing that we picked up. Whether it succeeds or fails, this is like actively what they do. They pick these things up. Not all of them are going to be, and probably most of them are going to be failures, but it's kind of like gambling, but that's kind of how these things work. So they could pick up Metazoo, because they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They could pick up Metazoo for, even if it was $1 million, depending on Metazoo's debt, or maybe they could take majority ownership of Metazoo and not necessarily, who knows? I think there's different things that could happen, but it's like a drop in the bucket to them if they, who knows? And $1 million is just like a random arbitrary number, but it's just an example of, they could show their investors, hey, we picked up this, exciting property that has some potential. We got it for cheap. They were kind of on the decline, so we were able to pick it up for a good price. And here's another promising thing that, could turn into a nice venture. Proverb says, as silly as it sounds, if anyone is going to buy the zoo, I'd prefer it to be Tops. At least it would have collectible cards of the cryptids. But I think Tops would kill the game portion off. Yeah, that's true. Nick, you think the zoo could be bought years after it shut down? I really think if there were rumors or there was interested parties, they would want to buy it right now. Why the hype is still fresh. I mean, there's no denying that, you know, this death of Metazoo rumor has cranked up the interest like never before in Metazoo. And I think that's really going to be something that, I don't know. I think if there were interested buyers, I think they're seeing what's happening right now, and they're probably gonna want to strike while the iron is hot. I think the likelihood of it being bought goes down significantly the more time that passes from this announcement. That's just what I feel about it. What's up, Star North? Sorry, I'm checking my DMs. Making sure there's nothing new happening yet. I think Metazoo is in a dead cat bounce after the news. That's also entirely possible. But like I said, if there really were, sorry about that, if there really were interested investors or interested buyers, you would think they'd want to pick it up now because interest is at an all-time high. A lot of it is negative publicity, and a lot of people, the most of it is negative, so they might be able to get it for even cheaper while the interest is peaked. Bryson says, apparently Karami's Cryptid Carnival made Metazoo 1 million and Sanrio took 20%, according to Argos. When did Argos say that? Did he post a new video? I haven't seen that yet. Full Hollow Chibi Wahila. I've been waiting all week for a new Argos video. I've been wanting to see his take on some of these rumors and all this stuff going down. I'm very curious to get his perspective on some of this stuff. Being someone that was one of the biggest, if not the biggest partner, buying a lot of product, holding a lot of product, one of the most like deeply involved guys. I really want to know like his genuine thoughts on what's going down. Seto Kaiba's bank account said, I would give Bandai a chance if they acquire it. I think most people would. And I think that's why people are a little bit excited about the potential of that rumor because, I mean, it's pretty obvious that most people's issue with Metazoo has been the ownership and the management. And I think a lot of people at this point would like to see Metazoo continue. And I think they would really give almost any new owner a chance at this point. What's up, Atlantis? Says, long live Metazoo. Bandai has awesome quality control. The cards would be very nice. Yeah, I mean, Bandai did Digimon, and I think currently they're doing not only One Piece, but aren't they doing something with Dragon Ball Z too? Bailey was attacking Argos on his Discord, and Argos responded. Yeah, like I said, when I looked up Bailey's account on Instagram today, and I saw that I was blocked. And I don't think I've ever spoken to him or spoken about him. But him and Afton both had me blocked, and I just now noticed it today. Feels like the Bandai rumor was made to prevent boxes from going to zero. I don't know. Not blocked, he deleted it. Oh, he did delete it. I was gonna say, that would be really weird because I don't think I've ever even really talked about him or had any interaction with him at all. Yeah, but the question is, if it was manufactured to keep the price up, then who manufactured it? Because the same person that was posting, that whistleblower that was posting all this stuff, they had a lot of negative things to say about the people that are running Metazoo. So you would think it'd be the people that are running Metazoo that have the most to gain from that rumor. But that same person was trashing everybody at Metazoo. And then if that really was Dr. Cards, or if that really was Mike Waddell that Dr. Cards was talking to, then why wouldn't Mike just confirm it, or at least, I don't know. The whole thing is just so weird. It's so stupid that they wouldn't give us any information at all at this point. Maybe they enjoy the rumors. Maybe Metazoo is, it's totally possible that Metazoo is just dead, and these rumors are the only thing keeping Metazoo alive, Metazoo price is alive. But if that were the case, then why delete the announcement that Metazoo's closing down? And it just, none of it makes sense. And I think that's why the drama is so interesting, is because there's just so many questions with every new development. There's more questions than answers. And like none of it is consistent. Like I was seeing screenshots of some of the stuff that Mike was saying on Discord before he announced the Metazoo shutdown, like just days before. And he was talking about how optimistic he is about the brand, all the plans for the future, all the things that are going to be done right in 2024. And I'm not talking about the letter. I'm talking about some posts that he made just days before announcing the shutdown. So the letter in proximity was already weird enough. We got this big apology letter towards the end of 2023. And then a month later, this announcement that Metazoo shut down. But like the week leading up to the shutdown announcement, Mike was talking like super hopeful and positive, all in the Discord. And then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, there's this, we're shutting down out of nowhere. It's just, none of it really makes sense. And then to take the letter down makes it even weirder. I don't think that's the real Metazoo games. I think I saw them on, what was the stream I was watching last night? Catch 'em All Collectibles. Because I saw a fake Andy Murat in here earlier. I'm still not seeing any updates. I'm checking my messages again. My guess for anonymous sources is Texas Ted, that T-Rex cowboy boots dead giveaway. What are you talking about? What are the T-Rex cowboy boots? Yeah, that was pretty cool. He pulled that red ink. But yeah, I had heard rumors from a couple people that there could be an announcement today. And I guess a lot of people have heard this rumor because I saw Bailey posted on the Discord that he was expecting an update today too. So who knows? It sounds like there's been a lot of discussion about a potential update. But I do think there's some significance to the fact that, like I said, both Afton and Texas Ted's post was a little bit more vague, but he wasn't an artist. He was a little bit more of a essential employee, and his post really kind of implied that he's moving on to other things. So I think there might be some truth to this maybe being the last day. What did Ted post? He basically posted something where he was talking about, he was basically thanking the community and saying what a good time he had. But then at the very end of the post, he said, I'll be updating you guys on my future plans shortly. So it kind of sounded like that was his goodbye post. Yeah, and the email from Golden. Speed Robo says, I actually have something nice to say about Metazoo cards. I like the red border. It looks cool. Yeah, the red border has been kind of a point of contention. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I actually like it. I think it's different. That would be fitting if Metazoo ended on Groundhog's Day. I think the black board, yeah, the sample cards look pretty sick too. No, I checked that as well. Mothman Printing, from what I could find with the Mothman Printing LLC, it looks like Mothman Printing never did anything but file a trademark for a logo and then start up the LLC. I don't think there was ever any earnings or purchases or anything associated with that. All I could find was the Mothman Printing trademark for a logo and then the filing for their LLC for that. I don't think they ever did anything with Mothman Printing like they talked about doing. Because up until this very end, even with the Karami set, as far as I know, Metazoo still doesn't have its own printers. Exactly, Spencer. It's weird. How do you go from being excited about the future of Metazoo to posting a letter saying it shut down only days later? And again, if you look back at some of Mike's posts on Discord in the days leading up to it, he was like just talking about how excited he is for the future of Metazoo and all this positive stuff. So it's weird. It just, none of it makes sense. And I can get why everybody is so frustrated. What's up, Blitzen? Mr. Sly says, dude, it's sleazy what they're doing. What they're trying to do is keep us strung along just long enough to avoid a class action lawsuit. That's the other thing to consider here, is to be very careful in the next couple days. Even if we do get some kind of announcement from Metazoo, let's say that Metazoo is shutting down, there is no buyer. Let's say that Mike's Discord post was true. He still took the Discord post down for a reason. So if it is done and it is shutting down and there's no buyer, then that would probably mean he took that post down to avoid some kind of legal liability. And it probably does mean that the other parties involved with Metazoo were pissed about it. And they're probably telling him behind the scenes, like, we got to make it look like there's still some life at this point. We can't say that it's dead yet. So if they do come out with a statement and it's kind of a non-statement, like if they don't confirm anything for sure, if they don't deny anything for sure, and it's just kind of a nothing burger, like a lot of the shit that we get from Metazoo, I'd be very careful to believe whatever they say, or just take it at face value. I would take it with a big grain of salt, because if it is done and they don't say they're being sold and they just say something kind of cryptic and vague, I think it's probably because they're trying to make it look like there's still a possibility, there's still a chance, it might still be alive until they have everything figured out, maybe with bankruptcy or whatever, and then they'll officially announce that it's closing down when they have all their loose ends tied up, which that is a possibility. Oh, Rudy just dropped a video. Is it about Metazoo? What's up, Herb Gaming? Another full hollow Chibi Loveland Frogman. I'll have to watch that when I get done here. I think everybody wishes that Metazoo was more transparent. Honestly, I think both scenarios are just as likely. Because on one hand, if Metazoo is shutting down and Mike impulsively posted that without thinking about it, that seems plausible. But it also seems just as plausible that maybe Mike is being forced out and he posted that impulsively as a temper tantrum. Both of those seem pretty likely to me when you look at the fact that it was taken down after the fact. So I think it's probably a coin toss between the two. Nick, do you go back and read all the comments later from the chat? No, I don't go back and read the chat again. I try to read it in real time as best I can. Another reverse. There we go. We got 160 in here now. But yeah, I would stay tuned because it seems like a lot of people have heard the same rumor that I have. I don't know where everybody is getting this same rumor that there might be some kind of announcement tonight, but it seems like a lot of other people have also heard this, so we'll see what happens. There's a rumor going around that there's supposed to be some kind of announcement from Metazoo tonight. Who would be your choice to buy Zoo? Bandai, even though they might shelve it. Not a bad choice. I honestly don't know. I think it really depends on what it means if they are buying Metazoo. Is Mike and the creative team that he has going to be rehired and they're going to be in control? Is the company that buys it going to take it in a completely new creative direction with new leadership and new management? How much debt does Metazoo have, if any? What's the goal going to be of the company buying it? I think there's just so many variables. Yeah, Sly. The announcement is going to be, we'll tell you more soon. Is Rudy's video about Metazoo, though? I'm definitely going to check it out after this if it is. Oh, it's not about Metazoo? Yeah, that was one of the big things that looked weird to me in those screenshots was Mike saying a company is looking to buy part of Metazoo. That really stood out to me too. just about general finance stuff. Waiting to hear about Metazoo news is like waiting for UFO disclosure. That's true. I mean, I think the story of Metazoo would make a pretty good documentary once the story is finished. Because we still have no fucking idea what's going on. I mean, we don't know anything. Like, any of these rumors could be true. Metazoo could just be dead in the water and they're just being weird and shady and vague again. Or almost any of this stuff could be true. Who knows? Richie says, I just don't understand why any company would buy Metazoo. For what IP? Sam Sinclair? They ought to just make their own cryptid game. Like I said, it depends on what they're buying it for. And like I said, a company like Bandai is picking up companies like this multiple times, probably a month, just to show their investors, hey, we're putting your money here or here. We think this could be promising. And I think just if they picked up Metazoo for cheap enough, it would probably look good on paper as a potential investment versus just going to the board and saying, hey, we're going to start our own Bandai cryptid game. It'd probably look better if they got Metazoo for cheap enough to show them, these are the sales that Metazoo had in the past. There might be some negativity right now, and we could pick it up for cheap and maybe turn this thing around. I think it would look good on paper as an investment to present to shareholders. It certainly seems like that's worked so far. If that was the goal, to stir the market up, and that was the real rug pull to get people to sell their collections, that'd be crazy. Karami's Cryptid Fire Festival. Don't companies typically want to buy companies that are thriving, not companies that are failing? Well, I think, again, that's the idea. They could show their investors, look, this company had all this revenue coming in, and now they're on a downturn. We could turn them around and we can buy them for cheap, and maybe we could get them back to these peak numbers. I think that's probably the idea. Because, again, we don't know if they were to buy Metazoo, what they'd be paying. Nothing big, Mothhawk, nothing big. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards believing that this Bandai thing could be true, because really it makes sense. And you guys can look up Bandai right now and see some of their acquisitions. And like I said, even though none of them are US based, they've acquired a lot of stuff that was just garbage. And I think at the end of the day, it's just to show their investors on paper, we're trying different things and these things look promising. I remember those days too, Sly. At the very beginning of Nightfall, before Nightfall was released, they were giving out some early boxes, or some people got early boxes at either a Collecticon or a Comic Con, and some of those people were selling those early Nightfall boxes like a couple weeks early on eBay. And I remember before release buying an early box of Nightfall for $500. It's been a long fall from that high. Because I was trying to be the first one to open one. Larvitar Canto says, so is Mike really out? Did Bandai really buy? I'm so confused. I think we're all confused, bro. Spencer says, I was part of Metazoo Kickstarter, been here from the start, but fell off a couple years ago. I bought more Metazoo product in the last week than I've ever before. This may have all been by design. It's a pretty fucked up design. Wayward Caster says, Metazoo will be synonymous with now. They're synonymous with shutting down now. We're not shutting down soon. We're shutting down prematurely with a post that nobody thought about that's going to get deleted right after. Yeah, isn't it kind of crazy? Metazoo's like essentially trending now on YouTube. Like as far as TCG goes, or TCGs go, Metazoo content seems to be doing pretty well. Sly said, all I know is people who sold Kickstarter boxes at the peak, 10 or 12K a box, were absolute winners. That's a fact. Ben 10 says, and then we'll just leave everyone in the dark for a while and let them speculate and not give them anything concrete. Yeah. It's kind of shitty. I don't think KFC is back. I think he was trolling in that latest video. Yeah, they deleted the statement about closing, and not only that, but they had deactivated their social media and then reactivated it when they deleted the post. Do you think they had the SCP set printed? Honestly, I don't think so. I know that the whistleblower guy was saying that they supposedly have 4 sets in the future completely finished. But I don't know. I have a feeling it's not printed. No, SCP never went out to anybody. That's a good point. Bandai makes the Tamagotchi toys. If they buy Metazoo and release a cryptid Tamagotchi, I would buy one. See, that's true. This is why it kind of makes sense to me. Because look, they could take, like I said, it depends on what they purchase Metazoo for, right? But they've got all these different, they've got the infrastructure to turn it around. They could show their board, they could show their investors and say, look, Metazoo had this crazy high revenue, and they don't have any of the stuff that we have. They don't have an anime. They don't have any, physical media. They don't have a real game. And Bandai has all this. They have anime. They've got TV shows. They've got video games. They've got all kinds of shit for creating an IP. And they could show their board and say, look, Metazoo has these pretty high sales, and all they've done is sell trading cards. Now they're not doing good. People are upset. We could buy them for cheap, and we have all the tools to turn this thing around and maybe even beat their best numbers. I think that would be how a company like Bandai would look at this from an investment standpoint, because they do bring a lot to the table in terms of creating an IP. They basically did create Digimon. Have we heard anything from the artist, past or present? Nothing new to share on the record. I mean, we did see, confirmation from the artists that were still there that all of them are gone now. So they have no artists. But again, all these people leaving or being fired or losing their jobs, if Metazoo did restart under new ownership, they would likely rehire those core people. Cheeseburger, thank you for the $2. He says Pornhub declined their collaboration with Metazoo. Jeff says I talked to Lily and she was pissed 6 months ago. Yeah, I know they're going to different card games, and I don't think it's just Chronicles of Arcane. I think there's a couple, but the difference is I don't think these other indie TCGs are doing what Metazoo did, and they're not saying, if you work on our game, you can't work for anybody else, which is what Metazoo did. So if Metazoo gets bought by a new company and they wanted to offer them good, consistent income, I think those artists would probably go back. All right, 2 packs left. And then we'll end this thing. It'll be a quicker stream than usual. I've still got some other work to do tonight, but I wanted to hop on here just in case there were any new developments or anything. All right, hopefully we can get a holo out of this last pack. This has been a pretty ice-cold box. Yeah, that's true, Medicine Bag, but if a new company owns it entirely, they're going to have to start a brand new payroll, and it's going to have to be a whole new process of rehiring them anyway. They can't stay employed by Metazoo as it stands now. If someone else buys it, it's going to have to be restructured. All right, last pack Magic. And we get a fucking reverse. All right, I'm going to hop off here, guys. Thanks for stopping by, but stay tuned this weekend. I feel like there's going to be more to talk about. Hopefully, there might be more to talk about even tonight, but thanks for stopping by, guys. Nick Strength and Pokemon signing out.